welcome to my channel. My name is Simplykrystelle. So today's video is going to be a makeup for humidity look. So I'm going to be showing you guys what I do on those days that it's really humid. I live in South Florida, so it's really humid where I live. So especially in the summertime. So I just wanted to create this video to tell you guys and to show you guys what I do and how I do my foundation and my primer and all that on those days that's humid. So before we get on to the video, please press the subscribe button down below if you aren't subscribed yet. And also please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And let's get on to the makeup for humidity look. Okay, so guys, I'm going to do my skin first. Like I'm going to do my face makeup first and show you guys exactly how I get my face makeup on. Like especially on these humid days, because I live in South Florida, and in South Florida, it's very humid, especially on the summer months. So I'm going to show you guys like how and what products I use on my skin to keep all the humidity out. First thing that I'm going to go in with is with primer. So I'm going to take my Milk Hydrogrip primer, and on humidity days, like humid days, I like to do two primers. So I'm going to take this primer, and on top of that I'm going to take my e.l.f. Putty primer, because the combination of these two primers, it really keeps my face matte and it helps my face and the oils to not like seep through. So I'm going to start off with this primer first, and then I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. one. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see how I'm doing this part. This primer, the gripping primer, is like my favorite primer at the moment. So I'm just going to take this one and just apply it to my face. And I'm going to let it dry for like a minute. So I'm just going to fan it out with my hands. Now that it's dry, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Putty primer. And I only apply this primer on my nose area. And I apply it on my cheeks, because this is where I get the most oily, my T-zone. So I'm going to apply it in my T-zone area. And this serves as like an extra barrier, especially on those humid days. I'm telling you guys, the combination of these two primers, like it just works really well for my skin. So I'm just gonna blend and smooth in that e.l.f. primer. Alright, so now that we have our primers in, I like to just fan it out just so it can really dry and so it can seep on into my skin. So I'm just gonna fan it. Alright, so guys, with foundation, if you are someone who lives in a very humid area, or you're trying to keep your makeup on for humid places, I would recommend like a matte foundation. Unless if you have, I mean, depending on your skin type, like if you have oily skin, for sure, like go with a matte foundation. If you have trouble with your foundation getting oily and you have trouble, especially in those humid days, with the foundation like not sticking, I definitely recommend a matte foundation for that. But if you are someone who has dry skin and you like more luminous, you can do dewy. But for today, for me, because I have combination skin, I'm gonna go in with a matte foundation, and I'm taking the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. This is my favorite foundation of all time. I love this foundation. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm going to actually put it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to just kind of warm it up on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna blend it in with a brush. So I'm gonna go in with a brush with it, but there's no like really like details or whatever. I'm just gonna blend this in to my skin, because now I have my two primers, so I have my two forms of barrier on for my skin. This Love is the foundation brush. By the way, this one is not the same as the ones from the past years. The ones from the past years were so much better than this one. I'm just gonna take that and blend it in. Now that we've blended out our my foundation, I've blended out my foundation. Very, very nice foundation, very nice finish. I love this foundation so much. So guys, on days that have a lot of humidity, like, I would recommend definitely a more matte foundation, just especially if you have more oily combination skin, because you know, if you're wearing like a more matte foundation, your skin is more likely to be less oily and your oils are not going to seep through as much as they would with maybe a luminous foundation. But it's all up to your personal preference. But this is the foundation that I chose to go with. So now I'm going to go in with a concealer. I'm going to choose a more mattifying concealer. So I'm going to take my Jouer High Essential concealer and I'm going to conceal with that and highlight with that, just because that concealer is more high coverage and it's more matte. Now that I have my concealer and my foundation, I'm actually going to set my face. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to take a banana yellow setting powder and I'm going to set my under eyes and all the areas I put concealer. And then for the rest of my face, I'm actually going to take a loose powder that's more my skin tone and use that to set the rest of my face. I usually don't set my face all the time with powder. I usually only set the areas of my face I put concealer, but since we are going for a makeup look that's going for humidity and for humid days, we want to make sure that our whole face is set so that the oils don't seep through. So I'm going to take this Colourpop No Filter setting powder, and this powder is really great at keeping like oils at bay. I mean, I love my Beauty Bakerie one, the flower setting one. That's my favorite one, but this one is also really good. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to use that in the places that I highlighted. So you can always leave the powder on a little bit longer just to really set everything. So now what I'm going to do is, as this is like baking and stuff, I'm going to go in with the powder that's more my skin tone and I'm going to set the rest of my face now. Now this one is, ooh, jeez. This one is in the shade brown from Beauty Bakerie. So I'm just going to take this and set the parts of my face that I didn't set with that yellow powder. For this step, sometimes I like to take a big fluffy brush and I just dip it in there. And you know, loose powder is very messy sometimes, so I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the places that I didn't put that yellow powder. Just gonna set those places. And you know what I do too is I just kind of sweep everything away, because you know the brown powder is a little bit red, so I don't want my skin to be too red. So what I can do is I can just mix the yellow and brown together. So I'm just gonna kind of buff that into my skin, and you see how it just blends together. So I'm doing like a 2-in-1. So I'm setting my under eye and blending that in together with the face powder. So I just kind of sweep that, and I usually get a really oily on my nose. So I like to focus on my nose and just blend all of that together. And I usually don't do this on a like regular daily basis. I never usually set my whole face with powder. I usually just set where I put concealer, but since we are going for a humidity day, I'm going to set my whole face. I like to go back and take like a pressed powder. You can take a pressed powder that's like your skin tone, or you know, for me, I'm gonna take this one by Essence. This is the Brighten Up Banana Powder, and I'm actually gonna take that and apply some of it to my nose, because that's like my most oily part. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and just kind of sweep that on my nose. And blend all of that in. Alright, so now you guys, we're done with the whole complexion and we're done with setting our face. So now I'm gonna go on to like bronzer and blush and stuff, and I don't think I really have to talk through this because it's not really a tutorial, just showing you guys how I, you know, do my makeup for humid days. So I'm just gonna fast forward to this part and just kind of point to the products and just do my makeup like that. So I'm just gonna start off with my e.l.f. bronzer palette. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, this lighter shade, because I don't want anything too like chiseled. So this part I'm just gonna fast forward for you guys and just, you know, not like speed it up basically. Okay, so before guys we go to our eyes, I want to set my face. So I'm going to take this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and this is probably one of the most important things you can do, especially in those days it's humid outside. You want to set your face. So we're going to set our face before we do our eyes, and then we're going to reset our face again. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to spray it. So something that I also see people do is I see people take a sponge. They take the sponge and they wow, I got a lot on my chest. They take the sponge and they put it in their skin. So let me actually reset my face. Take this sponge right here and I'm going to press it into my skin so that it really sets my makeup. And this does not remove your makeup or anything. It just presses the product into your skin. Okay, so that's it for my face. Now I'm gonna just zoom you guys in for my eyes. I'm gonna do something really simple. I'm gonna use this palette right here. Probably like something super simple because, you know, this is not makeup tutorial, but I'm just gonna do my eyes and just zoom you guys in for that. Alright, so like I said guys, it's a very simple eye, very simple eye. So now I'm going to set my face again. So I'm going to take that Morphe setting powder and just set everything again and melt everything together. And if you want, you could also take more powder, depending on if you're a very oily person. You could take more powder and just push it into your skin. Like for example, if I take the Colourpop powder and I could push this into my skin if I want to give it an extra set. My earring just fell out. But just depends on personal preference. But I just like to just set everything, you know, just in case. And it's not going to make your face look cakey, because my face does not look cakey. I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see my skin. My skin does not look cakey at all. So just want to set everything in some place that I get super oily. My nose, like that is my worst place. But it does look very matte, so this is a very matte look. Okay, so guys, now that's basically it for like my eyes and my face. So I'm just gonna do my lips really quick. I'm gonna take a lip liner and a lip gloss and just apply it. Alright, so guys, that is basically the look that I came up with, and my skin feels so matte. Like I don't feel any oils. Let me zoom you guys in so you can see what my skin looks like. See here, my skin looks so like matte and flawless. No oil seeping through. You see that? And it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look cakey at all. So flawless. So smooth. So, and it's pretty humid outside right now where I am. So if you guys like, this is like the perfect thing to do if you live somewhere where it's humid, if you have trouble with humidity or anything in where you live. So yeah guys, that is the look I came up with. I really hope that this video helped you guys, especially if you have trouble with humidity and your skin becoming oily and stuff, and maybe you live in somewhere where it's humid. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before I end this video, I wanted to tell you guys our affirmation for today. So our affirmation for today is, I am living my life for me. So I want you guys to live your life for you and do what makes you happy, and stop worrying about what other people think, and stop worrying about pleasing other people, and stop trying to be a certain way for somebody, and stop trying to please everybody and be someone else for other people to like you. Like yourself and live your life for you, because at the end of the day, you're stuck with yourself, and at the end of the day, if you spend so much time trying to make someone else happy, you're gonna be so unhappy and you won't even know who you are. So live your life for you, because I'm living my life for me, Krystelle. That's what I'm living my life with. So thank you so much for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. That is it for this video. Thank you so much. I really hope that my makeup for humidity video was helpful to you, and please press the subscribe button down below if you aren't subscribed yet. And thank you so much, and please also give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.